I'm Brian Koenig. In this week's edition of the Brooklyn Lens, Catholics around the world were still processing the Pope's surprise resignation on Ash Wednesday. 3 months after Hurricane Sandy hit, a Brooklyn-based volunteer group distributes more than 1,000 meals a day throughout the city to help with relief efforts.
Occupy Sandy is still providing over 1,000 meals a day throughout the affected areas. I donate my time and my gas and my tolls.
And a family-run chocolatier in Midwood has welcomed customers for the last 4 decades.
If you have a happy tongue when all is said and done, you just had a great piece of chocolate.
You're watching Brooklyn Lens, a webcast where reporters from the Brooklyn Ink bring you stories from the borough. We start with the aftermath of some shocking news right before Lent, as Catholics around the world and in downtown Brooklyn reacted to Pope Benedict's decision to step down with disbelief and express their hope for the next pope.
I still don't want trying to figure out why. So like, no warnings or anything.
I would say going back about a year, there were some rumors that he was thinking about that, so I wasn't like overwhelmed. That the job is bigger than the man, and that being Pope is really a function, being the leader, the shepherd, and there's a time sometimes when the body or the mind just cannot do that anymore and you have to give it up. I think it says a tremendous amount about the personal integrity and wisdom of Pope Benedict. I'm sure it took an enormous personal toll on him, absolutely. I can't imagine how it didn't. He was the first Pope to meet with victims of sex abuse, which was a tremendous step forward. He had to remove a high-ranking priest who was head of a religious order who was accused of terrible crimes, something that seemingly John Paul II wasn't willing to do, and I'm sure that took an enormous toll on him.
His legacy, his works are phenomenal. I just started reading his book about St. Paul. I think he will be remembered as a scholar and as a pope that was kind and compassionate.
I actually think, I think that most people, once they're in a position of authority and power, tend to hold on to it for as long as possible, whether it's a religious leader or a political leader. So I was actually kind of impressed that someone would relinquish power, because I think most people, try to cling to it as long as they can.
I just hope that whoever takes on his steps and move forward, that would also give the people what they're looking for, because he was great.
I would like to see a pope, if I could say, a different color. I'd like to see a South American pope or a Spanish pope or a African, some other pope from a different part of the world.
Latin America, Canada, because it seems that the new Catholics are coming from, not from Europe, but from other parts of the world. I'm hoping that the next pope is maybe a little younger, energetic, more in tune with today's internet, Facebook, YouTube world.
Now to Bay Ridge, where a local volunteer kitchen provides food to help with Sandy relief efforts. Occupy Sandy prepares and distributes more than 1,000 meals a day throughout New York City.
My name is Nellie Thompson, and I am here volunteering today at St. John's Church. This is a kitchen that functions as a hub for Occupy Sandy. We are helping to prepare food to be sent out around the city. It's a really collective effort to try to get as much food out as quickly as possible to help feed the many people who are still displaced. What tends to happen after storms is you have this big rush of volunteers, and then it sort of peters out. People forget that there are still hundreds, if not thousands, of people in Staten Island and the Rockaways and Bay Parkway who don't have basic amenities like heat and electricity and food.
Okay, thank you ever so much, and thanks for volunteering.
My name's Jill Cornell, and I'm a volunteer with Occupy Sandy. And what I do for them 2 days a week, I drive food out to wherever they tell me. Occupy Sandy is still providing over 1,000 meals a day throughout the affected areas of Brooklyn and Queens, Staten Island. I have 3 containers for you. I donate my time and my gas and my tolls to help the relief efforts. I like doing it because I like being out in the field and meeting the people that are working at this stage in the recovery because they're so committed and passionate about what they're doing.
Occupy Love. Pulled pork over rice. Woo! That's good.
It's a real prime example of the power of mutual aid. And when you come with food, everybody's happy to see you.
If you have a sweet taste in your tongue after all is said and done, then you've had chocolate. That's the motto of a man who's been making chocolate for 38 years. The Brooklyn Lens pays a visit to a family-run chocolatier on Valentine's Day.
When you eat a piece of chocolate, while it's melting, let it move around your whole palate. Right side, left side, the roof of your mouth, the back of your throat. Slowly. The brand doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter. If you have a happy tongue when all is said and done, you just had a great piece of chocolate. I'm Michael Rogak. I am a son of a candy maker. Joe Mart has been manufacturing chocolates here in Brooklyn since 1946. My grandfather was a candy maker going back to the 20s. So we're approaching almost 100 years of candy making, and I will introduce you to the 5th generation of candy makers at Joe Mart Chocolates. This is Jake, my buddy and my grandson. There's a lot of mysteries about chocolate. We get it generally in block form or in little calays, and then we have holding tanks where we will blend certain different chocolates together to give us the exact flavor profile we're looking for. Then comes the real magic where you have to temper the chocolate, where through heating, cooling, and agitating, you get it to dry with that nice, beautiful luster. And when you break a piece of tempered chocolate, you get that little snap. A lot of people think that on Valentine's Day, it's only men who are out shopping. It's pretty much equally split between men and women. But their shopping habits are very different. Men kind of gravitate more towards the fancier boxes for fear of getting killed if they bring home a plain box. Women will come in with an attitude that I'm buying what I like, and if he doesn't like it, too bad, I will eat it.
Remember, you can follow our stories on the Brooklyn Inc. and on Twitter. Stay tuned for more stories from your neighborhood on our next webcast. I'm Brian Koenig for the Brooklyn Lens.